Good morning. Welcome to the Cascades course of the Virginia Hot Springs Golf and Tennis Club. This is the final match of the 88th Amateur Championship of the United States Golf Association. The players are Danny Yates of Atlanta, and Eric Meeks of Walnut, California. Mr. Yates has the honor. Play away, please.
This is the scene at the first tee of the Cascade Golf Club in Hot Springs, Virginia this Sunday morning. And those two gentlemen you just saw tee off. Eric Meeks, a recent graduate of the University of Arizona, and Danny Yates, a prominent golfing family from Atlanta, Georgia, are the sole survivors of over 4,000 golfers who took part in this year's amateur championship. And I think it underlines, David, the fact that this is a very stern test of golf.
Well, there's no doubt about that, just to get here. And I thought when I talked to both of them yesterday that they were a little bit awed by the enormity of what they've done. Now, I'm sure they both had a very short evening because there's a lot of thoughts that run through your mind when you're playing the greatest day of your golf life. You've got the 38-year-old insurance man from Atlanta. You got the 21-year-old collegiate player. So take your pick, Jack. Whether we go for the old guys or the young guys, this should be quite a day.
And it's 36 holes, so let's go out and watch some golf. Here is the first hole, and you can see right away some of the characteristics of this mountain course. Yates put his ball up here into the rough. It did not kick down to the right.
And it's very tough rough, especially with the dew in the morning, Jack.
Mm-hmm. Heavy and wet.
Oh.
And it catches him immediately.
Whoa, man.
First hole, only 397 yards, but didn't give you fits. Eric Meeks, second shot. He kicked down off the bank there into the fairway. That's the difference between putting it in the fairway and not.
Very important to keep the ball in the fairway, especially on these fairways that slope so much one way or the other.
Here is the format of this amateur championship. 43-12 sectional players, 291 advanced to Hot Springs, where we had the stroke play for 36 holes and then match play beginning with the last 64 beginning on Thursday, and we're down now to these two. Now we pick up Danny Yates. That's for par and just misses. So he will bogey the first hole. And now Eric Meeks to go one up at the very first hole of the playoff, and he does.
Four, game 5, maybe one up.
ABC Sports. and the United States Golf Association invite you to the playing of the final match of the 1988 United States Amateur Golf Championship. Welcome to the Cascade course of the Virginia Hot Springs Golf and Tennis Club, a William Flynn designed beauty that has settled peacefully in these Allegheny Mountains these last 64 years. Many consider it to be our finest mountain course, and this week it has been host to the 88th United States Amateur Championship. Now we're back at the second hole, and Yates one down now. Second shot at this par 4.
434 yards, Jack, a strong par 4. And as you'll find out as you watch this, over the green here is not good on any hole of the 18.
Eric Meeks, he's one up. Second shot, second hole.
With a 4-iron.
Okay.
And nicely on. Young man who recently completed his senior year at the University of Arizona, majored in sociology. And again, he has the advantage as Yates has missed the green and has this chip. Whoa.
Well, it flew by coming out of that rough, Jack, because even though the greens are softer than the USGA would like them for the event, it's still coming out of the rough. The ball tends to run quite a bit. Danny has already putted up as Meeks putts for his birdie to go 2 up here.
Great.
Oh, isn't that nice? So Eric Meeks off flying here, taking the first 2 holes to go 2 up. And yesterday, David talked with him.
Eric, you're very close to a great prize in amateur golf. How did you get started playing golf?
Well, my dad first started me out when I was 3 years old. He gave me my first set, and I didn't pick it up right away. I just played every once in a while. Probably when I was 12, I started taking it seriously, and took lessons from my dad and Tom Shopner out at Friendly Hills. So it's my home course, and been playing 11 and a half years now. So that's who got me going. It's my dad.
Well, what about your golf this summer? Have you had the kind of summer that you were looking forward to, or have you not played as well as you wanted to?
Yeah, I've been playing pretty steady. I've played in a couple tournaments in Colorado, finished all right, and coming into here, I knew I could play, do well. So I was playing okay, and I'm really kind of surprised that I'm in the finals, though. I'm pretty happy about it.
Well, why are you surprised to be in the finals?
Well, you only see these things on TV, and you don't really think you're ever going to be there. So I'm just really happy to be here.
Well, happy he is. 2 up now as we hit this beautiful third hole. Only 283 yards long, but it is a beauty, tucked away.
A lot of peril on that. It's a layup shot, actually, 3 or 4 iron for these players. This is Eric Meeks, who's 2 up right now with a pitching wedge to this little green here. Oh, and another fine shot, Jack.
Yates is already on, as you see his ball there. It's B.J. Boatwright on the left, and Bill Battle, the president of the USGA, monitoring. So Danny Yates, first time now for birdie.
Come on, baby. Go! Go!
Oh, fine.
Hit a good putt at 1, didn't go. Hit a good putt there and didn't go.
Birdie here for Eric Weeks. Yes, and he goes 3 up, and a flying start for the young man from Arizona. 3 up after the third hole, and we'll be back with more of the final match in a moment.
The U.S. Amateur Golf Championship. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the investment firm of Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it. By Lincoln, what a luxury car should be. By Michelob. One taste will tell you why. The night belongs to Michelob. And by Martin Marietta in aerospace and information management. Martin Marietta masterminds tomorrow's technologies.
If information were sand, what would your workflow look like? All the information you generate every day can easily bury you. At Martin Marietta, managing information is the essence of everything we do, from communications networks to integrated manufacturing. Because once you know how to manage information, it won't overwhelm you anymore. Martin Marietta, masterminding tomorrow's technologies.
Some people move up in the world a little faster than others. Maybe it's because they know what's waiting for them when they get to the top. A luxury car. One of the big three. Lincoln Continental, Lincoln Mark 7, or Lincoln Town Car. Anything less isn't worth the climb. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Hot Springs, Virginia, home of the famous Homestead and this Cascade Golf Course. A lovely little spa settled back in the Allegheny Mountains and famous for many, many years. We are in the morning round of the final match of the 1988 United States Amateur Championship.
This is the fourth hole, Jack. 198-yard par 3. Plays a little shorter than that. This is with a 6-iron. Eric makes 3 ups at this point. Another good shot there. 36 holes may seem like a lot, but when you let a man get started like this, as we see Yates on his second shot here at the same hole, the par 3.
Oh, my. How did he ever get that onto the green?
Didn't have any play at all there. Had to play away from the hole, actually.
So, Danny Yates now having a little shaky start while Eric Meeks has been strong. And there it is. He goes 4 up after the first 4 holes.
Mr. Yates 4, Meeks 4 up.
As Yates is shaky and Meeks is strong. And let's get a report from our on-the-course commentator, Mr. Bob Rosberg.
Eric Meeks has gotten off to a flawless start the first 4 holes. He has played those holes in 2 under par, and they are not easy holes. But Danny Yates doesn't have to worry about how Eric Meeks is playing. He has to get a hold of his own game. He is 3 over par through 4 holes and is really letting this match get away. The conditions are perfect. No wind, but it is a little wet. And if you keep driving in the rough, you're going to be in deep trouble.
All right, we move along now to the 6th hole here at the Cascade course. 364 yards, dog leg over water for the second shot. And here is Eric Meeks' second shot.
Bite. Bite. You can hear him say bite there. This is another nice little par 4, not long, and it's a layup hole off the tee. But here's a man that needs to get something going at this point, Jack. He's got to find some way to turn the tide, and this looks like a good opportunity.
Well, that's a little more like it for Danny Yates. That's the way he's been playing all week here. From Atlanta, Georgia, and yesterday, David Marr had some words with Danny Yates.
7th fairway.
Did your father start you playing?
Yeah, I used to tag along with him at the course, and we lived across the street from a golf course. I've just lived on a golf course all my life.
Well, did some thoughts go through your mind about winning on Saturday so you could be at Augusta?
I really tried to keep those kind of things out of my mind and really just play par. I've had a hard time in match play in the past playing my opponent. So I really, as hard as I could, tried to keep my mind off everything but just the shot at hand and what I was trying to do.
You had a great year as an amateur in 1974. Did you ever think about maybe turning professional?
I thought about it. A couple years later, when I went to work with my father, and I said I'd work for 2 or 3 years to see how I liked it, and I got to play some. And when it got the time later in about 75 or 6, I thought about it, but was kind of struggling with my game, and some of the guys that I had played with that were really good players and much better players than I was in college, they were having a hard time, and I just said no.
Do you think your family may come up tomorrow to see the final round?
I doubt it. My father, it's hard for him to watch me play golf. I played in the Open one year, and he watched me play the first hole. I birdied the first hole, and he never saw me play another hole for 72 holes.
Where'd he go?
He went and watched Ben Crenshaw. And that's the truth, and he'll tell you that.
Well, did you play a lot with your dad? Did you get along as father and son if you played?
Yeah, we get along great. We fight a little bit, kind of like, I have no other brothers. I have a sister, but we argue and fight a little bit, but we're pals, and we play some golf together, but his nerves, and he'll say he just cannot stand to sit there and watch me play golf. And I'm going through the same thing with my little boy in his sports. It's kind of tough.
Well, now Yates has a chance here for a birdie to maybe cut down this big lead that Meeks has gotten away to.
Poor little life left there, but I asked him about Augusta. It's because his father's been in charge of the press room there for many, many years, and with this being in the finals, he gets an automatic invitation to Augusta. So quite a thrill, I'm sure, as you go to number 7 there, Jack. A very narrow driving hole, as you'll see. Played down into the rough here, the wet rough. Eric Meeks' second shot.
Big kick. Get right.
Green very elevated there. It's not going to run on, especially with it wet, Jack.
Yep. Now Yates' second shot. It's the morning round of 36-hole final match. Oh, another fine shot by Yates. Now, Meeks chipped up. And now Yates going for his second birdie in a row. And he gets it. And that whittles another one off. Now just 2 down after being 4 down after the first 4 holes.
4. Meeks, 2 up.
And that's the way it stands. Well, Charles Blair McDonald was the first amateur champion of the United States, defeating Charles E. Sands 12-11 at Newport, Rhode Island.
Why do you care what I eat for breakfast?
Maybe we shouldn't discuss this while you're under the influence of sugar and preservatives.
And what should I be influenced by? Nuts and twigs?
Very funny, Rita. Come on, one bite.
Oh, great. Nutri-Grain.
The surprising taste of Nutri-Grain almond raisin cereal with no sugar or preservatives added.
Almonds, raisins, this is much better than I thought.
Yeah, kind of like me.
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain.
Dedicated to the ones we love.
Leo McKern for the investment firm of Smith Barney.
Thanks, I'm well taken care of. Companies talk about personal service. Customize this, customize that. How much of that is plain malarkey? There is only one kind of personal service Smith Barney understands. Hard work for clients, advising them what to do and what not to do. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
Replacing a divot may seem like a small thing, but the difference it can make in the appearance and maintenance of a golf course is a big thing. Here's something else you can do to help golf. Join me as a USGA associate. Here's how.
Call 1-800-345-USGA to become a USGA associate. You can help the USGA conduct turfgrass research, preserve the history of the game at Golf House, write and interpret the rules of golf, test clubs and balls, and perform other services that benefit all golfers. For only $25, you'll receive a year of Golf Journal, the USGA's official magazine, plus other benefits available only to USGA associates.
But most of all, you will get the satisfaction of doing something good for the game. Call now to join.
Sam Snead's Tavern, and why not? This is Sam Snead's hometown down the road in Healing Springs. And there's his tavern, and you'll find Sam there occasionally, talking with the town folks and the visitors. This is SNEAD territory. This is the course where he grew up.
What a nice little, excuse me, Jack, what a nice little par 3 this is, 136 yards downhill. Players been using a wedge or maybe a little 9-iron here all week. Oh, really, where you feel like you can make a birdie.
Oh, Yates has finally found his swing, hasn't he?
He needs to before it gets out of hand.
Another fine shot. Wow. Nice response there by Eric Meeks.
He's got
36-hole final match. This is the first 18 holes.
Meeks has a wonderful swing, too, John.
Now, Yates for his 3rd straight birdie. Yes. Boy, he has steadied himself, hasn't he?
Most birdies will do that to you, and it puts a little added pressure on Eric Meeks now. He was sailing along all right there, and then now he needs this for a half to stay 2 up, and didn't get it now. He's just 1 up now.
Now the big lead has gone down to 1, and let's hear a little bit more from Eric Meeks.
You just finished at the University of Arizona?
Yes. Majored in sociology, minor in political science. Just finished up, so happy to be done with that, and now I'm just going to play golf.
When you say you're just going to play golf, do you have plans of professional golf, or are you going to stay an amateur, do you think?
Well, I was planning on turning pro next week, but I'm not going to do that now. So I guess I get to play in the Masters, so I think I'll do that.
Which sounds like a good idea. All right, at the 9th hole now, Danny Yates putting for a par and a half. And he finishes the front 9, just 1 down when it looked like it could have been much worse. This is how Danny Yates got into the finals. He defeated John Conley on Thursday. On Friday, Thomas Tolles and John Baker. And Saturday morning, Jack Larkin 5 and 4. And met Doug Martin in one of the semifinal matches yesterday. And here at the 2nd hole, the 2nd shot on this 434-yard par 4. Marvelous looking hole. It winds through the trees on the mountainside.
Great golf course here. One of the best you'll ever play, as we see Danny Yates, the insurance man from a golfing family in Atlanta, Georgia.
And first blood is drawn by Danny Yates, going 1 up after 2 holes. Remained that way to the 5th, where Danny Yates had this for a par. That beat the bogey by Doug Martin.
That's one of the hardest par 5s you'll ever play there. 576 yards, Jack. That's a very tough hole.
Now at the 7th hole, Doug Martin, a senior at Oklahoma University. And that little putt cost him another one.
That's a tough way to start an 18-hole match, getting 3 down so fast.
Yates, 3 up.
And now we're at the 8th hole, that beautiful 136-yard par 3 downhill.
It's a wedge shot here, Jack. Holes up front today. It's not playing a full 136, and he hit a nice shot in there yesterday. Just under the hole where he needs to make some birdies. He's 3 down at this time. In an 18-hole match, you're not in too good a shape.
So Martin had this to win. Smoothly, he rolled it in. And through 8 holes was 2 down. Then at the 10th hole, a 375-yard par 4.
Had to go just 1 down. This majoring in sociology at Oklahoma and a runner-up in the Porter Cup, one of the finest amateur tournaments in the country this summer.
Hang on, baby.
Playing this 12th hole, Jack, this is one of the most narrow driving holes you've ever seen, and it got away to the left on him.
As you will see, that ball is left and in a lot of trouble.
Very dark on that side, too. Really a hard hole.
Now Danny Yates' tee shot. This was yesterday, semifinal match.
pretty good line, Craig.
Danny just slicks it by there on the left side, but it's in the fairway. And the difference in the two drives was the difference in the hole. And Danny Yates goes 2 up after 12 holes. Now at the 13th. Danny Yates is on her, and he does the same thing
Left, Craig.
that Martin did on the hole before.
Gives it right back to him. Just another hook there, and that's over in the hazard to the left. And
it is gone. Left. Deep and dark.
He went in there looking for it, but I think you need a guide in there. You might need Sam SNEAD to show you where the dry spots are.
So Danny Yates lost that hole, and he is 1 up after 13. Now they have down to the 17th. Doug Martin to this par 5, his second shot. And what an effort.
It's only 491, but there's water down the right side, and trees to the left, and look at the shot he played.
Almost a double eagle. On the par 5 in 2. He 2-putted for his birdie, but here's Danny Yates coming out of the sand bunker at the left of the green. Has this for a halve, and does it.
Great up and down there to stay 1 up going to the par 3 18th.
192 yards over water. Doug Martin needing to win the hole to take it into overtime.
Tell from that look, it's left to where he's trying to go, and you hear him talking to it. Hole ball. Blair's been using between 4, 5, 6 iron here on this hole, Jack. Depends on the wind, as Yates now has a chance to put it on the green, of course, and put the match away. He's 1 up right now.
All he needs is a half. Beautifully placed. Now Martin missed his birdie attempt, so Danny Yates has 2 putts for the match. Almost did it with 1. So Danny Yates defeats Doug Martin 1 up to get into the finals. Well, Francis Ouimet won 2 amateur championships, the first in 1914 and the second, unbelievably, 17 years later in 1931.
America was built on dreams, and business is the key. We ensure where America works, we're USF&G. From the mountains' ledge to the ocean's edge, we insure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA. As the years go by, I know I'll always have a friend. Just as long as you stand by me.
For over 100 years, friendships have been formed and kept over the quality beers of Anheuser-Busch.
Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Your balance is...
If this is your bank's idea of 24-hour service, you're listening to the wrong bank. Talk to Wells Fargo and get real people anytime you want. Only with Wells Fargo checking. Of all the banks in California, only one offers real people who can really help anytime from any phone. Wells Fargo 24-hour person-to-person checking. You've got to hear it to believe it.
Kids who want their parents divorced on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
We are back for the final 36-hole match of the 1988 United States Amateur. And after the first 9 holes in the morning round, Eric Meeks is 1 up. Now, Eric Meeks got into the finals by beating Randy Haig 1-up on Thursday, Friday, Fred Benton, and two-time champion Jay Sigel. And on Saturday morning, he defeated Robert Gamez 2-up and met David Toms in the second semifinal match yesterday. They have the first 5 holes. Here's Eric Meeks' second shot at the 6th. A par 4, 364 yards over water.
He played a little 8-iron, Jack, from about 135 yards. A well-played shot. And David Toms, the junior from LSU, had laid up a little closer here. This is not a hole where you might use a driver. And he played a wedge second shot into this neat little par 4. Young man majoring in economics.
Hometown is Bossier City, Louisiana.
I have a little track there, Jack. Something you're interested in, horse racing.
So David had this putt then to win the hole, which he did after Eric Meeks had missed his birdie attempt, and David Toms was 1-up after 6. Par 3, 8th hole.
Both hit wedges here. This says 136, but it's downhill, therefore it doesn't play quite as long as 136.
Oh, wasn't that nice?
Beautiful shot. Nifty little shot there.
Now, Eric Meeks, Walnut, California.
1 down at this time. A man from University of Arizona, and watch the shot he played, Jack.
That was conceded.
As you could do in match play, and he's already got his 2, while David has this putt for a deuce to have the hole.
Well, it looked like he might win it.
Watch what happened to him.
So, from looking like he might have won it, he loses, and the match goes to even. Now at the 10th, par 4, second shot. Semi-final round yesterday.
Once again with a wedge. I mean, he's really a long hitter. David Toms is sneaky long, as they say on tour, that a lot of good wedge shots, and he's got about the same putt he had back at the 8th hole, the par 3. This turns out a little differently for him, Jack.
Safely in that one. And he goes 1-up after 10. Now to the par 3 11. This was Eric Meeks' shot. Out of the shade and into the sun. See both balls on the green.
The 6-iron from 191 yards they used here. To get even.
Eric had the touch at the 11th there, and the match went even.
They were back and forth all day long, Jack.
And at the 12th. It's to have.
For a par, that difficult par 4 that you'll be seeing more of today.
David Toms 1 down after 12. Here at the 16th.
And this surprised me a little. After Meeks had already laid up in a very bad position, he went for this par 5 across the water, and you'll see just how close he came to on in 2. Looks like a cinch win there with Eric.
A little bit of trouble.
A little bit. I'd hate to see what you call trouble.
He had to just pitch it out sideways.
Couldn't go toward the hole. And pitched out in 3. Remember, David Toms is on the green in 2, and this cruel thing in match play, he's pitched there in 4. Toms has putted up about 4 feet from the hole. So this is for a 5 and maybe a chance for a tie. Boy, he made a lot of putts yesterday.
Oh, didn't he ever?
Even Bob Rosberg said these two guys could putt.
So a good par there for Eric Meeks, but Tom has this to win the hole.
And to square the match. Oh, you see that in match play. That's what makes it so cruel so often.
So they come to the final hole, the par 3 of 192 yards. Eric Meeks, one up. Means that Tom must win this hole to take it into overtime.
And this is a 5-iron here. Eric Meeks.
Nicely on. Now Tom's.
Also a 5-iron. Good looking shot from the moment it left the club. Just where you'd want to be. I mean, of course you want to be close, but below the hole, putting up the hill.
But Tom's gave himself a chance.
Oh, yes. And Eric, of course, has a putt somewhat like Dan Yates had a moment ago. It's going to break to his right. It does.
Nice par for Eric Meeks, which quite simply means that David Toms had to sink this putt to take it into overtime. And by just that small margin, Eric Meeks defeated David Toms, one up, to go into the finals. All right, some U.S. Amateur history. Arnold Palmer won the 1954 United States Amateur Championship, defeating Robert Sweeney. And we'll be back with more final action in just a moment.
Scorpio from Germany. When introduced in 1986, it beat them all to become European Car of the Year. And now in America, it has triumphed again as Road and Track's best sedan under $27,500. The Scorpio touring sedan from Germany.
Make yourself comfortable.
Scorpio. German performance you can be comfortable with at select Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Leo McKern for the investment firm of Smith Barney.
Thanks, I'm well taken care of. Companies talk about personal service. Customize this, customize that. How much of that is plain malarkey? There is only one kind of personal service Smith Barney understands. Hard work for clients, advising them what to do and what not to do. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
I always get a kick out of this tag on a golf bag. It means the bag belongs to a golfer, not just someone who plays golf. The USGA means something to golfers. It means we care about protecting and preserving the game. Isn't it time you show you know the difference between being a golfer and just someone who plays golf? Call now to become a USGA associate.
We are back at the Cascade Course in Hot Springs, Virginia for the final 36-hole match of the Amateur Championship of the United States. And we'll pick up action now on the back nine of the morning round with Eric Meeks, shown here, one up. This is at the 12th hole.
Very strong par 4, Jack, 476 yards long. Very narrow. He's got this putt for a par, 6 or 7 feet to go. 2 up in the match.
4, 8, 5, makes 2 up.
Young man who likes to trout fish.
And here he is at the 13th, the second shot.
With the 1-iron from 220 yards.
Oh, what a nice shot.
Beautiful shot on this 438-yard hole. Beautiful.
So he goes 3 up on that hole after that shot.
Needless to say, Jack, a great showing for a young man playing in his first U.S. Amateur.
Indeed, he kept it up at the 14th, too. Here was his second shot, and this 413-yard par 4.
With a 5-iron from 185 yards. Great driving hole, this hole. Shots in a row.
And when you're as good a putter as this young man is, those kind of shots really make things easier.
I think all young men are good putters. From about 12 feet for birdie 3 to go 4 up.
Just like that. Young Eric Meeks having a nice walk in the sun.
Yates 4, Meeks 4 up.
The 15th is a par 3, 222 yards long. A long, narrow green. And he missed the green here.
Got a little lucky. Went through a tree on the right-hand side.
Oh, bingo. Can't beat that very well.
Two great iron shots, and not one so good, and chips it in, makes up for that. That's like two-hole swing there.
He goes 5 up with that chip in. Eric Meeks. Now the 16th, par 5.
Can be reached, Jack. That is a dog leg down there, but the players both elected to play short.
So this is the third shot of Danny Yates. He's now 5 down.
90 yards with a wedge. Beautiful shot he played there. Not a lot of good things have happened to him since the middle of the round. He started poorly and needs to finish a little better to get a chance for the afternoon.
This would be a 4th birdie in a row, and he just missed it. A par for the young man after that string of birdies. And you're looking at young Doug Martin of Oklahoma, who lost to Danny Yates in the semifinals. And here is Yates with a chance to cut down on this lead that Eric Meeks has built. And so he does. 4 down.
Yates 4, Meeks 5, Meeks 4 up.
Well, Jack Nicklaus is a 2-time amateur champion, winning at the Broadmoor Golf Club in 1959, and then at Pebble Beach in 1961.
We can help you make money. We can help you enter new markets and have a presence. We can help you become a major player in some type of environment. You have the idea, you start it. We'll help you finish it. Obviously, if you're starting a new business, there's something that you think you have to offer. But just having the better mousetrap doesn't necessarily give you market share. You have to understand, how do I take this great idea? How do I target it? How do I get to those folks that can probably and that want to buy? And how do I sort through, of all the people that are out there, of all the companies that are out there for my product and service, which is going to be my #1 target group? We can help you do that. We work with just hundreds of clients annually. And I'm sure we've worked with people in the industry that you're going in. And that would allow you to understand what works, what doesn't work, to get to that market share. What's it going to get you? Money. Isn't that what it's kind of all about in starting up a new business?
The Regal Homestead in Hot Springs, Virginia. It's a place that's been here for many, many years. It's been a home for presidents from Washington and Jefferson on down, and it's where all the players stayed this week of the 88th United States Amateur Golf Championship. Now we go to the 17th green at the Cascade course, and Eric Meeks for still another birdie.
Good birdie.
Short par 5 there, Jack. You see the young man who's all Pac-10 in golf in 1987 and 88, and All-American this year, and he's sure justifying that selection with his play this week as we watch Lois Yates watching her husband Danny here for his birdie try. Oh, you hate to hit a putt like that, and that puts him 5 down.
5 down as they go to the 18th hole in the morning round, 36-hole match. Well, Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, undefeated 84 Olympic gold medalist Meldrick Taylor challenges defending champion Buddy McGirt for the IBF Junior Welterweight World Championship. Live except on the West Coast. Action begins at 4:30 Eastern Pacific, 3:30 Central, Saturday on ABC. Now at the 18th, Eric Meeks putting to have the hole. So Yates wins that, reduces the margin to 4.
Yates 3, Mr. Meeks 4. Mr. Meeks is 5 up.
So after the morning round of 18, Eric Meeks is 4 up on Danny Yates. And Bob Rosberg had a word with the two competitors.
Danny, you ran into a buzzsaw out there today. Tell us how you felt early in the match when you got so far down.
Well, I didn't feel good, obviously, but Eric had played well. He'd made a couple of birdies, and I'd made a couple of bogeys, but we had a lot of golf to play, and I figured if I could hit a good shot or two, then make a birdie, maybe I could get back in the game.
Well, you certainly did. I think you brought yourself back very well. Eric, you played a great round of golf, aside from the slip at the last hole.
Yeah. I got off to a good start. I was 4 up after 4, and then Dan came back with a few birdies, and got it back to I was 1 up, and I made a few more birdies down the stretch, and then I just kind of slipped on this last hole here. So.
Well, you shot 65. That's a pretty good everyday score.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way I'm playing right now. I just next 18 just have to go out and do the same thing.
Thank you, Eric. Okay. Aside from the United States amateur here at the Homestead, a great deal of history has been made. And to take a look at those moments, let's go to Jack Whitaker.
The United States Amateur Golf Championship makes its first appearance at the Homestead in Hot Springs, Virginia, a village that came into being in the 16th century, legend says, when an exhausted Indian tumbled into a pool of spring water and was refreshed and strengthened. Thus was the resort born. A large hotel was erected in 1846 by Dr. Thomas Good and remodeled in the early 1890s as the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad brought more and more people to the spa. Tennis courts and a 6-hole golf course were built in the early 1890s, and this first tee at the Homestead course is still in use. In July of 1901, the great hotel burnt to the ground, but from the ashes rose a better red brick structure. And the resort flourished anew with wedding parties and fancy dress balls, and Mrs. Cornelius Vanderbilt made her summer home here. The young Sam Snead came to the Homestead as a golf pro in the 30s. He grew up just 3 miles down the road, and as his fame grew, so many of the rich and famous came to the Homestead to visit. It was very busy during World War II. A United Nations food conference was held in 1943, and Japanese diplomats were interned here in comfort. The casino and spa escaped that great fire in 1901 and remain today as they were then. The great red brick hotel has grown over the years, but it still retains the aura of a time when people wore +4s to play golf and white flannels to dinner. The Homestead, home of the 1988 United States Amateur Championship.
Corporate asset management from USF&G. Tools for a brave new world.
I call this tree. And this is what Martin Marietta calls a tree. This is a truck.
So is this.
Oh, this one's a tank. Painted by a new type of radar called millimeter wave that Martin Marietta is perfecting. It could even tell a tank from a truck. You might say Martin Marietta has raised radar to an art.
I'll take that one.
Martin Marietta, masterminding tomorrow's technologies.
Sunday, a special breed of men with the right stuff.
These lips were made for something super.
You'd be surprised who's coming into AM/PM mini markets for a Super Sundae for 99 cents.
This is going to be big. My choice of new rich and creamy gourmet frozen yogurt or soft serve. Oh, I love this Super Sundae. I can make it myself. And load it up with all different kinds of yummy toppings, all for just 99 cents. AM/PM Super Sundae is absolutely the best thing I've ever tasted. And I'm not just paying it lip service.
On highway or off, all the tire between you and the road is this, about the width of your finger. That's why you need exclusive Bridgestone technology. Every Bridgestone tire is quality engineered from the ground up. So Bridgestone builds more than tires that perform. Bridgestone builds confidence. On highway or off-road, remember this. And remember Bridgestone.
Buy the same tires that Roger Mears wins on. Check your yellow pages for the Bridgestone dealer nearest you.
Peter, Paul, and Mary plus Steve returns at 9.
The U.S. Amateur Golf Championship, this ABC Sports exclusive, is brought to you by AT&T, the right choice. And by USF&G Insurance. USF&G covers the USA.
We are back on the final 36-hole match for the United States Amateur Golf Championship between Danny Yates and Eric Meeks. Meeks 4 up here at the 19th hole, and this is Danny Yates' third shot at this par 4.
Popped his drive up in the rough, Jack, and didn't have a good line, just played to there. Now his third shot, and he needs to get off to a good start this afternoon and do what Meeks did to him in the morning by winning a number of these first few holes. Meeks, on the other hand, hit a nice drive and put it on the green, and this is his putt for a birdie 3 at the 397-yard par 4 first hole, or 19th hole in this match.
No problem with par.
You wouldn't think so, but the problem for par is this one here. And Danny Yates of Atlanta, Georgia, needs to get something going for him.
That's good. So a bogey, and he drops yet another one. If indeed Eric sinks this for par, which he does. Eric Meeks 5 up after 19 holes. And we move over to the 20th hole, the second hole here at Cascade.
What a strong hole this is, Jack. It's, again, you've got rough, trees, it's got length, and Danny, again, did not put the ball in the fairway where you need to be. Tough rough with a 3-iron, second shot. Played a marvelous shot there, too.
And Meeks, second shot.
With the 6-iron out of the light rough.
Sit down. Another fine shot.
Almost identical where he was this morning. As though he's learned how to play this very tough second hole here.
So Yates missed his attempt for birdie. So Eric had this to win yet another hole. And went 6 up.
It's not going like Mr. Yates' script, I'm sure.
3, Mr. Yates 4. Mr. Meeks laid 6.
Par that hole, you don't usually lose it as we go to the third hole. Neat little par 4. Lay up with a 4-iron or 3-iron the players do, and then pitch across this ravine to a green that's elevated above you. Eric Meeks out of the right-hand rough.
Oh, what a shot, huh? Magnificent golf this young man is playing. Now Danny Yates.
With the wedge from 90 yards.
Equally as good. So Yates hits a splendid shot in here, but now something quite bizarre is about to happen, and we're going to bring in Frank Hannigan of the USGA.
Well, Jack, in match play, you can never touch your opponent's ball. Now, Danny Yates mistakenly thinks his is the closest ball. He picked up Meeks' ball. Now he's going to go to do the right thing, but he's already incurred a 1-stroke penalty. So now there's Meeks in 2, but Yates, instead of lying 2, now lies 3. This is for a par.
Which he missed, and of course concedes the hole then to Eric, and loses yet another one. So down the road, of course, lives the area's #1 citizen, Samuel Jackson Snead, and we had a chance to chat with Sam earlier in the week. Sam, I understand you had something to do with redoing the third green here at Cascade.
Well, matter of fact, I helped to build the green. We started from scratch. Flynn was the architect, and my uncle was the boss, and that's how I got the water boy job. And then I pushed the wheelbarrow, but he watched them so that it didn't load it up too heavy for me, And of course, used the pick and shovel. You know, everything was done more or less by hand. Matter of fact, we had 2 horses that built the 17th fairway. That was all Crestlake. And a man by the name of Rubino had that farm, and the house that is now the clubhouse was all brought over from Italy, also the barn.
What was your first job here, Sam? How did you start?
Well, actually, I had my first caddy job at the Homestead when I was 7. I ran off from home. This colored boy came by and he lived up behind us. And he said, come on, Sam, let's go caddy. And I said, okay, we'll make us some money. And I said, okay. And I left home. My mother started looking for me, and she couldn't find me, and she was going crazy. And when I got through with my caddy round, I had a little hat on, and this woman said, you come on up with me to the room. And she filled it almost up with pennies and nickels and dimes. I came home. Of course, I had walked 18 holes, and it's about a mile and a half over there and a mile and a half back. And as you know, you walk something close to 5 miles around the golf course. And I came in, I was so proud having all this money carried in my hat. My mother said, where have you been? She had to switch already. She said, but I said, look, Mom, I said, I'm rich, look now. I said, doesn't make it, just put that down. And I got a thrashing of my life. She says, the next time, young man, you tell me where you're going.
What made you decide to leave this beautiful valley here and go out into the wicked world?
Well, actually, I was going to college, and I went to the coach, and he went to me on my first golf tournament, which is Woodbury Forest. The coach said, you know, I've been thinking a lot about you, and he said, you're going to have to take a commercial course in order to play football or baseball or basketball, golf or tennis, and track. And I said, well, you're right about that. And he knew I wasn't the smartest duck in the pond. And he said, if you could get a golf job somewhere, I think maybe the 4 years you'd be as a pro, you'd be ahead of the game in 4 years as a pro. Well, I took his advice and got the job there at the Homestead as club maker. I worked at that, I think, 2 months, and they sent me over to the Upper Cascades as pro. I got a sandwich and a bottle of milk. That's all I got. No salary. And if I could give a lesson, but at that time, as you know, after the crash, wasn't very much money floating around. And sometimes I would rent half of my set. I'd just leave a few clubs that I could play in case somebody came by and I could play with.
For years, duffers everywhere have taken comfort in the fact that there's one thing more inevitable than the double bogey. Nightfall. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob?
The more you move up in the world, the less you're willing to compromise. And when you finally get to the top, you've earned the reward of a luxury car, the Lincoln Town Car. The luxury car that more and more people are turning to year after year after year. There's always room at the top for one more. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
This is simply a reminder that the upcoming 3-day weekend is also a 3-night weekend. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob?
Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Lopez and Ray Knight.
One of the nicest things about golf is that it's a family game. I really enjoy watching Ray play baseball. But I don't think the Tigers would appreciate having me out in the field. I lend my support from the stands. I think it's about a 9-iron. But golf is a game the whole family can play together. My father got me started in golf when I was 8 years old. Since then, I have won my share of tournaments, honors, and awards. My family comes first, but their support has made it possible for me to continue playing championship golf.
Hey, you going to talk or we're going to play golf?
Good point, hey? You made it anyway.
Shoot.
The preceding message was brought to you by the USGA.
You're looking at Warm Springs, which is about 5 miles up the road. The men's pool was opened in 1761, purportedly designed by Thomas Jefferson. The ladies' pool was opened in 1836, catering to gentlewomen of perception and taste. As we go back now to this amateur championship, this is Danny Yates' second shot in the afternoon round.
Fast becoming a nightmare for him. Not only is he getting beat, he's helping himself get beat with what he did at the last hole. And, of course, that shot on this par 3.
Meeks, on the other hand, on safely.
That's good. Good putt.
A par for Meeks, so Yates now needs to sink this for a half. Well, he gave it a good run, but he goes 8 down.
Meeks 3, Yates 4. Meeks is 8 up.
And we move to the 23rd hole, the 5th.
This is one of the hardest par 5s I have ever seen, Jack. It's side hill, and you can see here that just to get it in the fairway, if you once miss the fairway, it's a certain 6. Get from one part of it to the other.
Back in the rough. Just short of the green in his third shot. Now Eric Meeks, third.
Oh, got a little assist there, either from a tree or one of the gallery. That might have been going under those little firs to the right.
Neither one of them on the green in regulation. Fourth shot for Yates.
Well done there.
Now Eric Meeks, fourth shot.
Gets helped quite a bit too by the USGA felt they never got the greens as firm as they wanted them for the tournament. They were fast as far as putting is concerned, but a little soft in receiving shots.
All right, a putt here for par. No, and with that, Yates goes 9 down. Well, these are the 2 survivors. We had a lot of other players here earlier in the week. We had some sons of very good golfing fathers here. This young man from Ohio State is Gary Nicklaus, whose dad won this championship twice.
And I think the one most like his father, as we look at another son of a professional there, Gibby Gilbert, son of the very fine tour player, Gibby Gilbert, now a club professional.
And the youngest player in this championship, 16-year-old Bryony Bear, whose father also was a famous golf pro.
And I think I met Butch, as you see there, the caddy, Butch Baird, when he was 16 in Galveston, Texas.
Doctors, lawyers, beggarmen, and perhaps a thief or two. This is David McCampbell, no thief. He's a farmer when he's not playing golf.
And Jim Estes, a shoe salesman. Perhaps you'd like to see something in a wedgie, Mr. Whitaker.
Well, I don't mind that. How about some bricks? We have a brick salesman here from Wichita Falls, Texas, Bill Halstead.
A lot of bricks there to keep the wind off of you. The place would blow away without those brick walls. And, of course, on a Thursday afternoon, you might find the good Dr. Alan Foster out carving on some mullets.
And on Wednesday afternoon, a dentist, Dr. William Bowles. He's out playing golf.
And Billy Mayfair, who just turned professional after his loss early on in this year's amateur championship, going to play in the Swiss Open this week. And if he keeps hitting shots like this, he's going to have a great professional career.
Oh, yes. This is Tom Yellen, a senior producer on CBS's show West 57th Street, formerly with ABC News. And his caddy is the award-winning correspondent, Jack Lawrence of ABC News London, who had worked with Yellen before in such places as the Middle East, in towns like Beirut.
And David spoke with them after he had lost in the quarterfinals.
Tom, that was almost a dream come true.
Well, almost. I played pretty well. In fact, for a while there, I thought I was dreaming and was going to have to wake up and start the tournament over again and qualify for match play. But I was playing for all the people who play the game for fun and aren't doing this to be professional, who play from May till September. And if I won, I think it would be a great victory for people like that. But I had a lot of fun. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was having a great time.
Well, that is the name of the game anyhow. Golf is supposed to be fun. Jack, what are all your friends going to say back in London about this caddy job you've got?
They probably think I was still trying to walk the Appalachian Trail, and after 5 days of crumping around this course, I feel, or my feet feel at least, like I've walked about 100 miles of the trail.
Did you have a good time?
We had a wonderful time. Tom was brilliant, just brilliant out there, and to get to the quarterfinals of this major championship, I think is a great credit to him.
Indeed. That's some of the makeup of this United States Amateur Championship as we move now to the 10th hole, the 28th, with Meeks still 9 up.
Didn't hit too good a shot here, Jack, and has trying to just hack a 7-iron out of this rough. When he did, the ball squirted to the left over there toward the tree near that hazard.
Yeah. Not in a very nice place there either.
That's what happens when you drive it in the rough. This whole beautiful Flynn designed hole here. Just not long, but very difficult.
So Danny Yates is not in very good position. 9 down with 9 to play.
Talk about a rally. You really need a rally. And I said earlier it was his daddy that was in charge of the press room at Augusta. It's his uncle, Charles, who won the British Amateur in 1938, 50 years ago.
Well, beautifully on here at the 10th, the 28th in the match. And we'd like to remind you that next Monday, September 5th, the season premiere of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. A battle between the champions Super Bowl 21 and 22. The Giants, led by quarterback Phil Simms, and Doug Williams and the Washington Redskins. Action begins live at a special time, 8 Eastern, as will all our September games. Next Monday, September 5th on ABC.
The Giants better get some blocking. I'll tell you that. I watched them the other night. But anyhow, a little awkward stance here by Eric Meeks. Again, it's just not going to soul the club. Going to pick it up and just chop down on it. When it did, it jumped a little left because it's uphill. Of course, hard to judge how much it's going to jump, and he got over into the ground under repair in 3 strokes.
And there's the ball. And let's look at this.
A little slow motion here. You can't keep it on your heels hardly because the ground is pitching you forward. He picked it up very abruptly and just beat down on it. You just hope that it jumps somewhere straight for you. You've got to try to keep the club face square, but as it does a lot of times on uphill, it jumps left when you hit it. So he got a drop out of the ground under repair there, and this is his 4th shot.
So Yates now could probably keep alive here with...
Like a fish on a bank at this point, though. You're a little gasping for air. 9 down and 9 to go is an unenviable position.
But that is good enough. He now is 8 down with 8 to go.
Yates 4, Mr. Meeks 5, Mr. Meeks 8 up. Darby.
And they move to the 29th tee. Well, Jay Sigel, one of 8 people who's won back-to-back amateur championships. Jay won in 1982 and again in 1983.
Many animals
animals have sharper senses than we do. At Martin Marietta, we're using sensory technologies to change that. Like electro-optics to penetrate the dark, millimeter wave radar to distinguish one object from another, and computers that recognize what they see. Because sometimes sensing things the way animals do is the smartest thing a human being can do. Martin Marietta, masterminding tomorrow's technologies.
Leo McKern for the investment firm of Smith Barney.
Secrets of the incredibly rich. How to become a fat cat. Everybody and his brother has a method for making money. Well, Smith Barney has one too, except theirs is highly radical. Old-fashioned hard work. Extreme? Oh, perhaps. But that's the way Smith Barney makes money. The old-fashioned way. They earn it.
Undefeated Meldrick Taylor challenges IBF junior welterweight champ Buddy McGirt for his crown. Trainer Lou Dubas speaks out.
Buddy's getting better and better. I mean, every fight I see him, he's getting better and better. But come September 3rd, we're going to show him how to fight. I mean, whatever he can do, Meldrick can do a little better, and we're ready, baby.
Live Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
We are back in the Allegheny Mountains and Hot Springs. This airport that services this community is the highest airport this side of the Rocky Mountains. Beautiful place.
Thrilling to come into and go out of, too, Jack, as we get to the 29th hole of the match here at 191-yard par 3.
Danny Yates, 8 down with 8 to play, but he's been staving off the Avenging Angel here the last 3 or 4 holes. How long can he keep it up?
You just keep trying and do the best you can. This is a 4-iron at this hole. A little downhill. See by his reaction, he's lost it a little to the right. Oh. Got very near that hazard line that you see there, but not in it, we understand.
We said you don't want to be over any of these greens at Cascade. Now Meeks.
This was with a 5-iron. Lost that a little to the right. You can see him leaning it into the bunker just to the right of the green there. Jack, in watching Eric Meeks play here the last few days, something that he does when he loses the ball to the right, he stands a little too close to it. Now, if we take the club back, gets back in pretty good position, the club right there pointed at the hole. Now, standing a little too close to the ball causes you to spin out. In other words, get your left hip too quickly out of the way coming down, which opens the face of the club. You might hit it solid, but you'll push the ball. Nice finish and everything, but when he misses a shot, that's what he does.
All right, here's Yates' second shot now from behind the green.
He was in ground under repair over there, Jack. Got relief, no penalty, so this is his second shot, as you said.
Get up. Get up.
All right. Well, he talked it up, didn't he?
Not as much as he wanted, I'm sure. This is the 9th amateur championship. Former Georgia State amateur champion, a North and South winner, Southern amateur winner. A lot of titles. Just by far his biggest.
Played in the 1971 U.S. Open. As we look at Meeks now in the trap, you get an idea how deep they are.
Yes, and also to watch a little bunker play by him. We haven't seen him in a lot of trouble, and first chance to see him in a bunker. Good technique.
Oh, great shot. He's been in the driver's seat since the opening hole. This 36-hole match.
I'm sure when Danny looks back at this, he'll say, gee, I lost the first 4 in the morning and how many in a row in the afternoon? You just can't spot a player this good. So it's his first amateur, so he might win it on the first try. Eric Meeks, Walnut, California.
He's got that typical
golfer's build, too, doesn't it?
He reminds me in his walk and manner a lot of Sam Randolph, another U.S. amateur champion, and from California. He's 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, 23 years old.
All right, Yates now for par.
Simply has to make it to have any hope going another hole or two or three or...
No, didn't he, though? What a three.
Equal to the task.
That'll keep him alive.
He hopes. He's got to feel proud. He's going to feel down a little bit after he finishes, but he still has to look back at this as one of the great weeks of golf in his life. At this point, Eric has to feel like this is the greatest week of his life. We haven't seen him miss too many of these from
No, we
about...
haven't. He gets this for the championship. You'd have the hole.
It's like about 6 or 7 feet. No. He knew it right away. You can see him kind of draw the putter back. When he's hit good, solid punch, he's had a nice, long follow-through.
So, 7 up with 7 holes to play as we move now to the 30th hole, the 12th here at this lovely Cascade course.
This is a giant hole, Jack, number 12. 476 yards long, very narrow drive, heavily tree land on both sides, elevated tee. Upper tee usually is played par 5 for regular people that come in here to play from this tee. Yates going with a driver here. Of course, he has to. He can't lay up. You'll see some players during the week were hitting 3 woods or 1 irons just to keep it straight, leave them a longer second shot. But Danny's got nothing to lose at this point.
Let it all go.
He's really kept his composure all day, and he's kept trying, which is really hard to do when things aren't going your way. He just drilled that one right down the center. Anyone that's ever played here knows what a good drive that is.
Eric Meeks.
Going with the 1 iron, and that's the way he's played the hole all week. There's a good looking swing there. Wasn't standing too close to that one.
Down the left side. We've got a lot of excitement on this hole off the tee shots during the week, but these two are right down the middle. Here is a look at it, David.
Slight dog leg to the left, as it say from the bottom left of your screen there. Elevated tee, which helps the hole play a little shorter, and really a marvelous driving hole. And then got this beautiful design here. The bunkers there, just that bunker right in front of Eric there, just high enough to throw you off about half the club if you're not used to playing this course. This is a 5 iron from 195 yards. Well, that's good alignment there.
Good left.
Rope, come back now. Just against the fringe.
Pretty close to the hole, though. Yeah, Mr. Yates, also with a 5 iron from about 185 yards. Also a good-looking swing, Jack.
Oh, yes. Stop now. Stop.
I'm surprised that ball didn't stop a little more than that. Looked like a good swing and a good shot.
All right, we're here at the 30th hole in this 36-hole final match. And we're going to give you a little quiz before we go away. On the 18th tee during match play, you discover you have 15 clubs in your bag while you're 1 up in the match. What is the penalty? We'll be right back.
When I talked about how we deal with our customers, or any customer I'd have, you get to know them personally. And eventually it becomes a relationship where they're not just a ABC company, they're people. They know that I got all these products and these different things behind me, but they are talking to me, Roy Cartwright. And I'm going to sit across the table and I'm going to say, I'm going to take care of you. When you take away all the titles, it's really down to 2 people interfacing with each other.
Corporate asset management from USF&G. Tools for a brave new world.
The answer to the quiz. If you discover you have 15 clubs in your bag, you incur 2-hole penalty, and instead of being 1 up, you are 1 down in the match. And we are at the 30th hole in this 36th final in the 1988 United States Amateur Golf Championship from the Cascade course, where weather is now coming in. We've had beautiful weather here all week long. And here is Danny Yates.
You have to think, Jack, he has got to make this one because Eric, even though he's not on the green, is just in the fringe and inside of the distance that Danny is. Oh, drop. Well, it wasn't any time to be short.
He at one time was 10 down, but he's been holding off now quite nicely the last few holes.
I think he has to be proud of himself about that. You could have quit at any time back there and just said, well, I can't win this. And I think kept trying and has handled himself very well.
Especially after that penalty shot.
Oh, you got to go back. Here's an
interested onlooker.
Future fan, possibly. Use those little branches here. They say it keeps the gnats away. You see it in some of the people's caps and so forth. I don't know if it works or not. A lot of people use it.
Eric Meeks, he's been quite impressive.
If he makes it, he wins, or if he 2-putts, he wins.
Well, that looks to be about it. Although we'll make them putt it, I guess, for the championship.
I think here, since, you know, colleges no longer play as much match play as they used to. I think if Eric had played a little match play and that putt is as short as it looks, he would have given Danny his, tapped his in, and said, nice match.
Right.
Because it's not trying to win by 1 more hole.
All right, Danny Yates finishes with a par. And now if Eric can get this in safely, championship is his. Eric Meeks is the new champion. He wins 7 and 6. And the USGA has also announced that both Meeks and Yates have been named to the United States World Amateur Team, joining Jay Siegel and Kevin Johnson. And they will play that, as you see, over in Stockholm next month. We'd like to thank Thomas J. Lennon, the general chairman here, for a marvelous week. A marvelous tournament here at a beautiful place. And let's go down now to Bob Rosberg and the two contestants.
Danny, you played well, but it just wasn't to be today.
No, I ran into a buzzsaw early. He played extremely well in the morning, shot 65. I played pretty well and got off to a bad start in the afternoon, and he took advantage of it and played very well.
Well, the early holes killed you really in both rounds.
Yeah, first 4 holes I lost them both rounds, and it was just too much to recover the way he was playing.
Well, it was a great week, and also we understand that you've made the World Cup team.
That I hear that, and I'm happy about that. It takes a little sting out of the loss.
Eric, you were very predominant today. You played a beautiful round of golf, made a couple of mistakes late, but I thought that since I've covered the amateurs since 1975, that you played about as well as any finalist I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. I played very well. Only made a few mistakes, and I got off to a good start in both rounds, so that was the key right there, just getting off to a good start.
Eric, what's in the future now?
Well, I guess I'm going to play in the Masters, and then I just heard that I made the World Cup, so that's within the next half a year. After that, I don't know. I don't have any idea.
For all of us at ABC Sports, it's goodbye then from the Cascade Course in Hot Springs, Virginia. The 1988 United States Amateur Championship. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Michelob. One taste will tell you why the night belongs to Michelob. By USF&G Financial Services, asset management tools for a brave new world. And by Martin Marietta. In aerospace and information management, Martin Marietta masterminds tomorrow's technologies. The executive producer of ABC's golf coverage is Jeffrey Mason. Today's golf was produced by Terry Jastrow. Directed by Jim Jeanette. Technical director Werner Gunther. Associate producer Jack Graham. Associate directors Bob Lanning and Ben Hardy. Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, undefeated 84 Olympic gold medalist Meldrick Taylor challenges defending champion Buddy McGirt for the IBF Junior Welterweight title. On Monday, September 5th, live at 8 Eastern, it's the season premiere of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football as the defending Super Bowl champion Washington Redskins visit the New York Giants. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
This may be the most shocking story in America today. Children victimized by the foster parents who were appointed to protect them, battered, tortured, even killed. ABC News puts America's foster care system on trial. Crimes against children, the failure of foster care. An ABC News special Tuesday.
For the first time ever, a total inventory closeout at the Clearance Center.
Mark Christopher Chevrolet Clearance Center, Ontario.
Hundreds and hundreds of Chevrolets at Ontario clearance prices.
Use your factory rebate and pay $0 down, just $249 a month for a Camaro, or $0 down, $249 a month for an S10 Blazer.
The Ontario price is worth the drive.
A Camaro or an S10 Blazer, $0 down, $249 a month with your rebate.
Get to Ontario now while inventories last.
For the first time ever, total inventory closeout, the Mark Christopher Chevrolet Clearance Center. Vineyard exit off the 10th freeway at Ontario Airport.
In America, more and more people are drinking German beer. And the German beer they're drinking more of is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Can you help me with a problem? You see, some of my best friends at school have been asking me to try drugs. What do I say?
No, no, no.
Thanks, Trace. When it comes to the question of drugs, friends or not, the only right answer is no.
Kids
kids who want their parents divorced on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Medical Journal. And now, with your prescription for good health, Dean Adele.
Thank you. Welcome to Medical Journal. You at home don't know it. The audience has a sense of it, but all the crew around here, cameramen, producers, they're wearing the white bit, right? The white uniforms and the little gowns that they give to people. We haven't normally done this in the